So we have like
Yalla.
Yalla. How are
Does
you?
that mean go?
Yeah.
Yalla means hurry up. Or
Hurry up.
Come, let's go.
Let's
Come,
go.
let's go.
Come
Yalla,
on.
let's go.
Trying to find a fun way to get the conversation about SDGs going.
Mhm.
I mean, I think what will happen perhaps is that they now know of some of the issues as they are developing, and then perhaps they can continue to learn more, you know.
What do you think the first impression was for the students?
After the assembly, or even during the assembly, the kids seemed engaged.
I think for them, they'll still be thinking about, like, really, can I really, at my age, really be able to impact the world? You know, because we have put that on them. I'm sure they might be thinking, surely no one thinks at my age I can do something.
Yeah, but with the videos we showed that there are kids making that difference.
Yeah, and I think that
But
might.
I wonder, as an adult, I don't know if I can make a difference in the
Yeah.
world.
Mm.
So is it, I don't think it's so strange for kids to think that
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
And helping them to see that they have that just as much of a ability to change the world as we do. Equal in that, like
Yeah.
each one of us has a commitment, each one of us has a responsibility to the world.
I might go cook a meal for someone. I might read a book. I might put posters up around school to bring, to make it awareness of certain things. All of those things are service.
When you try to have a provocation or something to get anyone of any age to think or be creative, you have to kind of set the ideas in motion for them, and it's a really delicate balance at times because it can be prescriptive. If you stand up, right, you can stand up and make it prescriptive.
Yeah.
And I think the more challenging component of it is providing them the opportunity to think on their own, but in a world where you can go down a rabbit hole so easily.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times I think we think that it's just as simple as like, hey, go on the internet and look this up.
Yeah.
But with us providing the sustainable development goals, it kind of focuses them some, but gives them, I think, the agency or the ability to look outside of that, because really they're so broad and they can make their own connection and set it in their own context.
So today in the morning assembly, we were introduced to middle school SERS. As a part of middle school SERS, we are focusing on a sustainable development goal. And the goal that we have decided to focus on is gender equality and what we can do to solve it.
Gender equality is a huge issue because around the world, there is always one gender getting more freedom and privileges than the other. And to put it in someone else's shoes, it's like if your younger sibling got more privileges and freedom than you did.
Part of our middle school service was to create a mission statement, and ours is, no matter what your gender is, everyone deserves the same opportunities.
Another part of our service was to create a logo for NGO, and our logo is a scale that balances the genders equally.
What's an NGO?
A non-government organization.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. The way it was designed is that students would leave from this with a lot of ownership. And the intention is that that ownership would be maybe the kernel that they can use to say, we created this, and so we're going to take this to the next level, because we really need them to drive this and not us.
But that's the challenge, I think, in the classroom, full stop. Like in this day and age, when we were in school, it was always, here's the knowledge, right? And now it's so readily available to us, this knowledge. How do we channel it for students to take ownership in that?
Yeah.
And that's the delicate balance.
Yeah.
You know, it's how do I facilitate this for
it's
you?
the facilitation,
And allow your ideas to come and have your voice in it. I went into a classroom and one of the kids made a logo.
Yeah.
And I said, how did you do the logo? Like digitally, a logo.
Yeah.
And apparently they have some software that they use. So
Yeah.
the interesting part is, and it goes back to a lot of the things we talk about,
Yeah.
a culture of learning.
Yeah.
At the same time, our students are learning, but so are the adults,
Yeah.
and the students
Yeah.
have so much to bring. And it's apparent, like the videos we showed with those young activists that are taking ownership
Yeah.
and showing the adults. So it's no longer this one-way conversation
Yeah.
of the adults giving the information. It goes both ways. With any good lesson, we always have the hook, right?
Yeah.
How do we hook the interest for the children or any learner to take ownership in what they're doing? So this was kind of the hook part of it, so that come in December, we want to enable students to serve the community. And part of it is you have to engage in that conversation of what is a community first, because a community could be an advisory group, a family, a school, a country, and a government. And once you identify that, and then through the platform of the Sustainable Development Goals, we want our students to recognize that they can create a service project that links to their learning, and that when you take action, service isn't just reaching in your pocket and giving money to someone.
It's action.
There's an action of, it can be educating a community of, hey, turn your lights off, or hey, let's recycle. But it could also be building a windmill or desalinization.
I want our kids to be the ones who are familiar with the conversation and are able to contribute in a way about the conversation, not just by saying I saw it on television, but be able to say we were part of it, and here's our solution that we came up with, and here we're still doing it and will continue to do it. I mean, I take a lot of courage from seeing someone like the message that Greta, for example, says, that we need to act like the house is on fire. And I think it's a good metaphor for us, because we need to act like the house is on fire. Because if we are not acting like the house is on fire, the young ones won't as well. So for me, it's the outcome of this is about them being able to contribute to that conversation and not be on the sidelines wondering what is going on.